Hi fam, happy Friday. It is April 27th, I believe, April 27th. And I'm back here at Top Strength Gym in Providence to get my stats done. So just a little recap. Last time I was here, I found out that my numbers and my weight indicated that I was experiencing an insulin sensitivity. So from that point until now, I have been way more moderate and mindful of my carb intake. So for the majority of the time, my carbs are coming from green vegetables and pretty much vegetables. Obviously, I was training for the half marathon, so I definitely was for my breakfast incorporating 1 slice of cinnamon raisin toast, and then there was a couple times that, you know, I definitely splurged. Me and Nick went and got candy the night before the marathon. Definitely not smart. Check out the blog. And then there was a couple other things that took place that I just wasn't willing to give up. So Steve's method and approach, I respect the hell out of, but being totally transparent, it kind of brought me back to more of a restrictive mode with my food. It definitely, there was a couple moments where I felt like I was in prep again, and I didn't like that. So I have been following Steve's protocol to the best of my ability. So I am very curious to know how my numbers have fluctuated. I feel tighter. I can definitely see changes in my physique. I did weigh myself this morning. So last time I was here, I was 144.4. And then I weighed myself this morning after breakfast and I was 139.8. So I am very curious to just see my progress. I know there's going to be progress. I can feel that I feel different. So I'm definitely very curious. And especially with the wedding being now less than 5 months, I am getting back to tracking my food. Definitely still implementing an intuitive eating approach, but I want to implement a little bit more structure. And I honestly think I was either under eating or I was just not hitting my adequate amount of protein. So I did start tracking today. If you want to follow me on MyFitnessPal, my username is ACESBack86. And yeah, we're just going to implement a little bit more structure. I'm curious to see what he says. I'm not going to take you through the entire test. I'm just going to go over with you the stats. So I'm super excited to see again what Steve says, what my results say. I will share them at the end of this. And then I want to go over 2 things. One, how my training and how my nutrition is going to look from now until next month. So the end of May when I come back here and get my stats again. And then number 2, I want to kind of step you all through how I plan for a night out. Tonight, Yelena, our project manager, is coming into town. So I just want to step you all through what I do because I think it's going to allow you to gain a lot of clarity on how to plan your day around an event or a birthday or just a night out to keep you on track. So we're going to head in there. I think my thing is for 12:30. It's 12:15 now. So we're going to head in and fingers crossed that we see some results. So I will see you in the next clip. I do. 10.4.
That's not a little bit too. Sub-scat.
9.4.
Want to get lean, run a half marathon. Good axe.
7. Damn, look at that quad. 20.8.
That's really lean though.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And
hamstring.
16.
So if you're jacked, tan, lean, and awesome, your quad and hamstring combined should be 30. Now, the only sites that went up were actually your leg sites. So to me, that's just like inflammation.
Inflammation.
From what you just did,
okay.
Right, from running. But if you look at the rest of your sites, chin and cheek are the same. Remember I explained to you those kind of are what they are. If they go up, I'm going to ask you about your sleep. And if you're sleeping poorly, then those sites will go up. Not until you get like sub 10, 8, 7 are those really going to be affected. But your suprailiac and your umbilical are actually the two that you had the biggest drop. You actually
really?
Yeah, you dropped 12 points in your iliac, which is directly correlated to the increased fat and the less carbohydrate in your diet.
Yes.
That kill some inflammation, so that's great.
Okay.
And everything else is either the same or it went down a little bit. So let's see what the overall results brought you. You're at 15.1.
I think I was at 17.
Yeah, so if you look, your lean mass is pretty much the same, but your body fat went down like 2.5%. So my feedback for that is you need to squeeze harder when you train. When you're doing each repetition, I want you to like flex.
Okay.
So if you're doing like a set of squats and you're getting like 10 reps, rather than trying to get 10 reps, I want you to do the same weight, but like try and fail. Like when you're coming up, like you can get 10, but try and fail because you're squeezing and flexing your muscles as hard as you can. Go with the same weight and try and fail before that 10 rep mark.
Okay.
Because you're flexing and squeezing your muscles so hard.
Okay.
That's a great way to build more lean mass.
Okay.
Really, if your goal was composition, if your goal was muscle mass, you need to flex and squeeze and almost want to fail. It has to be about the muscle, not the movement. But I want you to be able to flex as hard as you can under as much weight as possible.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, there's a certain weight that you're comfortable with enough that you can flex into it.
Yeah.
Then you'll get to a certain weight where you can move it, but the focus is moving the weight.
Right, you're right.
It's too heavy to flex underneath.
You're right, you're right.
So finding that happy medium.
Okay. So should I keep sticking with like the same protocol as before?
You're at 15%, so you're in the realm of where we can start adding in carbohydrates. I usually like to add them either at post-workout or before bed or both. How well do you sleep? Are you a good sleeper?
Once I started doing all more veggies, I don't know if it's because I'm eating cleaner, but I've been sleeping better. Yeah. And I haven't been looking at my phone past 8 o'clock, which has played a huge role, so.
But the reason why I ask is if you're like, oh, I sleep like shit, the first place I put carbohydrates is before bed. And I would have you start with...
like what, like 25, 30?
You could do 50 grams, but see how you feel.
Okay.
Now, 15 is kind of like the gold standard as far as when you can add in carbs. You could be somebody that can handle them at 18, or you could be someone that needs to wait until you're 12. So it's trial and error. So when you start having carbs, you should feel great. You should feel tight if they're going to the right spot.
I just want to share my results with you. Actually, I'm going to bring them up right here. And I also want to go over 5 tips that I take anytime that I want to enjoy a night out, stress-free, anytime that there's a holiday or a birthday or even a vacation. So I just want to give you my 5 tips that are really going to allow you to continue to get progress, but not restrict yourself and still be able to enjoy all of these, you know, social gatherings. So let me first go, I'm trying to get my results. So Amber is going to insert a picture of my results right here. So I just want to go over with you what all of this means. So last time, my body fat, when I first got this done, when I first got the analysis done, my body fat was 17.6, and that was on March 22nd, and now I got this done on Friday, so it was April 27th, and I got my body fat down to 15.1. I think for me, because anytime in the past when I had a physique goal, I had an aesthetic goal, I had a dieting goal, I always had to go to such extremes to get results. So overall, it's comforting to know that, you know, even me, I would say I would grade myself a solid B around my nutrition and my training after I met with Steve the first time, and just to still see such a huge jump or decrease in my body fat, it's so comforting, and it really just should prove to all of you that you don't need to take such extreme measures to get results. You know, this is what I preach and bleed with my clients, and it's really cool to finally be in the driver's seat with them in really implementing structure around your food and your training without the goal of competing. And the biggest jump that we saw was in my my waist. I'm gonna meet with Steve in 3 weeks, and now I'm still doing a slice of toast with my breakfast, but then for my lunch pretty much, I'm just still filling all my carbs with a ton of vegetables, which I was doing that previously just because it really, the fiber and the volume really expands my stomach, leaves me super full and satisfied. And then for dinner, which is usually in my post-workout setting, so I usually work out from like 5 to 6, and then Nick and I have dinner around like 7:15. So for dinner, I'm going to start implementing anywhere from 30 grams of carbohydrates to 50 grams of carbohydrates. My goal would be to lose at least another 5 to 8 pounds for my wedding. And I know that I would feel my best. I would still, you know, hold on to my curves. I'm going to go back in 3 weeks. I will absolutely vlog my experience and leave some comments below if you have any questions. This is just the exact momentum that I really needed to continue to move me forward as I go into my bridal shower in like 3 weeks and the wedding. So I'm super excited. Okay, fam, here are my 5 tips to when you're going out to eat, or you have an event, you have a birthday, you have some type of vacation. These are my 5 tips that are going to help you continue to get progress, continue to get lean, but not restrict yourself in any way, as well as be totally present and fully enjoy the occasion. So here we go. Tip number 1. You absolutely 100% need to wake up and get a workout in. So step number 2, I want you to push back your breakfast. Protein, whole nutrient dense foods, really nutrient dense base. So you save a bunch of your calories, and again, you pushing your meals back is just gonna allow your metabolism to kick off a little bit later. Number 3, you are going to focus on, until you go to the event or the birthday or the occasion, getting in at least 80 ounces of water. Number 4, really fill your meals with low calorically dense foods. So I would do a protein shake, I would do a salad, I would do an egg white omelet, I would do chicken and vegetables. And then number 5, it is to fully enjoy yourself, but make the best decisions. But until then, guys, I love you, I appreciate you. I'm gonna end it here, but I will see you in a couple weeks when we go back to top.